Does this brand make money and when will it be profitable? I'm thrilled today. This is a crucial interview for me at the start of 2025. We're interviewing a popular brand that's making waves, Firefly. It's been a month. What's happened? Personally, it's been a roller coaster with ups and downs. On release day, December 21st, the reception seemed positive. Afterwards, I jokingly told the team it seemed to go well. I mentioned seeing about 20% negative and 80% positive reviews online. A colleague asked if I was reading my phone upside down. Back at the hotel around 12:30 a.m., criticism was overwhelming. The main issue was the light design, revealed in the last 20 minutes. That part wasn't rehearsed on site in those 20 minutes. I couldn't leak anything before the launch. For the outdoor scene, the car's timing, angle, lighting, and position weren't properly rehearsed without the car cover. This led to poor visual effects in the video that day. That night, we topped Weibo's hot search for 13 hours straight. This was completely unexpected. Some controversy was inevitable. It hurt, like hearing your child criticized by strangers. But I understand, as I first saw this design 2 years ago in 2022, I knew it would be talked about and hoped people would look closer. Seeing it before real-world testing feels different. As more test photos emerge, public opinion is clearly shifting. This shift in sentiment began on the evening of the 22nd. Brother Bin decided to do a live stream with me, and then during the stream, he was very open to the memes created by netizens. We even joined netizens in creating memes. This helped to diffuse everyone's emotions, leading to a turn of tide in the comments section. A lot of netizens later messaged me privately saying, "Daniwa, on the first day, I really didn't make up my mind. Then, on the second and third day, I will see after a week, then I will decide." How many orders did you end up receiving? The number of orders based on our future regulations and habits will not be directly announced. Whether it's registered users of the app, registered users of the mini program, or the number of users who placed small orders up to now, the number surpassed our expectations. The number of orders we received on the first night was the highest, now making up 50% of the total orders. Regarding sales, I think today we might just take this chance to have a deep conversation. I approach the question from a macroscopic perspective. The market isn't large in China right now. The entire number of cars is in the range of 1.3 million to 1.4 million. It is not large. But with more than 20 million sales in the country, as long as you accurately target that group of people, due to the huge Chinese market, the potential is also large. It would provide you with enough magnitude to survive. This is the first point. This time around, we went to interview some 12 users within this order, and the process is still ongoing because I want to make sure I know who these users are. Now, there are a few data points I can share. We noticed a phenomenon of breaking the circle, namely, more than half the people who place the orders are now not part of the future system. We also found that there are many young people, we call them quality youth, for their first car. They didn't choose a particularly large model, and their threshold is not particularly high, but they have a strong demand for emotional value. They don't want to follow the crowd, they wanted to make personal choices. So when we started to define this car, we hoped that it wouldn't have a strong gender orientation, it could be suitable for men or women, and at the same time, we didn't want it to have strong age group orientation. Whether you're a middle-aged person in the family and it's the second car of the middle class, that's okay. Or if it's the first car of a quality youth, that's fine. Even if you're an empty nester, it doesn't matter. It doesn't go against it. If he wants to be a global brand, he actually has to do a lot of homework on this understanding of users, starting from the definition of the product. Yes, this product was at the beginning of the project in 2022. Our vision was to create a new car brand for the global market. We are in the Chinese market as well as the European market did a large number of in-depth user interviews. There were nearly 17 countries that ran back and forth, made more than 40 cities. There are 15 cities in China. Everything else is in Europe. We actually have an idea or discovery. We need to be the greatest common divisor of the global market. If you make it a multiple of the greatest common, the car may lose the essence of the car. So we chose to achieve a global consistency in the baseline of hardware and software. I will start with the hardware architecture. Well, from the beginning, we were determined to be the safest car, the smartest car, and the car with unique emotional value. The reason why it is difficult to do a small car is because its boundaries are too strict. Well, on the one hand, there is the size boundary, and on the other hand, there is the cost boundary. So our approach is to focus on the scene, just focus on the way of using cars in the city and the way of personal life. There are two types in the Chinese market, or it is less than 100,000 yuan and cost effective. These cars with the ultimate cost performance, the second type, is the luxury brand car. The main thing is Smart and Mini. But now that Smart and Mini are going electrified in terms of intelligence, it does not fully meet the high requirements of the Chinese market for intelligence. At the same time, what about an affordable car under 100,000 yuan? It does not have a particularly high emotional value or the sense of quality that users may expect. So I think that is a new opportunity that is emerging in the Chinese market. Now, you must do it, you must be characteristic, you must remember it. So at the beginning of the project, we wanted to make a car that would be unforgettable at first sight. Do overseas users understand it this way too? Well, overseas it's like this. The mainstream European automotive media, like Car Design News and some more demanding auto publications, rate this car quite favorably, and online ratings are also quite good. There's no big difference compared to China. This might be due to East-West aesthetic differences. We respect every Chinese user's opinion, but we also have our own stance because aesthetics is indeed subjective. What about the competition? Compared to some overseas small cars, we have a standby advantage. Overseas research shows that foreign users do want smart features, but there's less product availability. Their desired features differ from China's. For example, in Europe, they want minimally intrusive smart features. We've specifically addressed this in Europe, like one-touch mute compared to Smart and Mini's established brands. Our standard version is definitely smart. We've been in Europe for almost 3 years. Progress in Europe and overseas is slower, so our Firefly European strategy will be relatively stable. While also being flexible, we're exploring various channels. When entering a new market, we aim to find local partners. We're not here to conquer, but to serve to establish roots. This requires long-term patience. This month, I can sense I still want to focus on high-end. High-end isn't just a label. It's not just about hardware specs. It must offer high quality at all user touchpoints to be truly high-end. It has high baselines for both hardware and software. We set one of the world's highest security standards from the start. We're developing according to the latest China EU double 5-star standard. In some areas, we exceed China and Europe's double 5-star requirements. At the press conference, we shared several key parameters. First, body torsional strength of 35,700 and 9 airbags as standard. It has double impact beams in front and 2 side beams on front doors. These hardware features ensure it provides a strong sense of security. This is the baseline for a high-end vehicle. We released a test video on the 8th. Rear-wheel drive, 5-link suspension. Chassis tuning was done by Multimatic, a renowned company. Turning radius is class-leading at 4.7 meters, even beating lower segments. So its handling performance should meet high expectations. Our software architecture has the highest integration in its class. The software design prioritizes an advanced digital user experience. Quality is ensured in materials, fit, finish, and all fine details. For manufacturing, as mentioned, we use NIO's system. Its manufacturing and supply chain guarantee high quality. Finally, there's the service aspect. We use NIO's sales system, fully integrated with their approach, so its service standard matches NIO's high benchmark. The original NIO user asked if it would have any impact on them. Oh, you mean a dilution effect? Right, this car is sold in the nougat. We're currently developing sales and service policies. The plan is to provide Firefly users with services based on NIO's standards. Our points system is fully integrated with a 1-1 exchange rate. Points earned on Firefly can be used in NIO and Ladao apps, and vice versa. How's your day and week been? What's your main focus right now? I check the Firefly app at lunch and before bed to like user posts. I reply to posts and private messages from users. It's fun and gives me strength. Being closer to users is key. They need a real person in charge. Didn't you launch a user co-created idea on New Day? Project Glow started January 1st, running 3 monthly phases. Send a Firefly. Yes, after 10 days, we found over 100 interesting videos. Does this brand make money and when will it be profitable? The most common question now is about battery swap station deployment, as it's a heavy asset investment. Firefly's swap stations differ from existing 1st to 4th generation hardware. Adding more SKOs to the system would noticeably reduce operational efficiency of current stations. The second reason is that for urban travel, range anxiety isn't as significant as with larger vehicles. Our strategy is to build stations as user numbers grow, not preemptively. For example, when enough users gather within a 5 kilometers radius, they can request a station. At launch, each station should be able to break even on its own. This model ensures the brand will be profitable. We leverage existing R&D, manufacturing, supply chain, sales, and service systems. Our R&D investment is minimal. This approach is effective and amplifies the future system's marginal effects. The break-even point isn't as high as users might think. The profit margin per vehicle is acceptable. Firefly's main mission within the group is global expansion. In our system, Future and Ladao are called Big Brother and Second Brother with different missions. The Big Brother targets high-end markets, while Ladao has the largest sales volume in China and is also significant overseas. Both Firefly and Ladao are crucial for future global expansion. For Firefly, it might be quicker since I designed it with global standards from day one. I also have a secret to share with you today for the first time. It has potential to attract the market. This market is quite large, especially for small cars. Firefly within the entire group represents a completely new market positioning due to its unique size, target audience, and price point, effectively expanding the group's product range while also broadening our customer base. So Firefly and Future Ladao together complete the group's product puzzle. What role will it play in stabilizing the future? At New Day 2021, we announced plans to enter 25 countries by 2025. To be seen as global, overseas sales must meet a certain threshold. Yes, Ladao and Firefly are responsible for meeting this sales threshold. Firefly's entry will help reduce R&D, supply chain, and manufacturing costs. It's a brand with increasing marginal effects. Firefly's launch is a strategic move, not just a tactical decision.